This is day 241 of Zohar Pshat. And I started doing the very famous Zohar yesterday, which is on Daf Chav Zayin Amud Aleph 369, about 12 lines from the bottom. And it says there that when things go bad, Itmar vevo marasav lo yachlu yishtos mayim mimara. You come to places bitter and you can't drink water because of bitterness. Gavada amru mari masnisin. It says this references, I think yesterday, whatever I say yesterday, but I think what it means to say is that these are mari masnisin. It says that people who learn Mishnayos, it's a midah sheina midah. The Gemara says that. It's frustrating. And why is it frustrating? So, V'emoros chayim b'avodah kasha, like it's bitter b'avodah kasha. That's started by Mitzrayim, not by Mora, but we're drawing the parallel here. B'kushya, with questions. Avodah kasha is questions. Chaymer is Mitzrayim b'kal v'chaymer. V'lveinim, l'biyun libanachas, clarifying halacha. B'cha avodah b'sadeh, da braysa. All work in the field, that's the braysa. Es kavod sam, all the work, da mishnah. Now that seems great. Seems wonderful. Why is it such so bitter in Mitzrayim if you have all this lomdus going on? So Tzaddik, in the Pri Tzaddik, the Rosh Hashanah Eis Hey says, he says as follows, and he's going on this over here. Hainu shechayim shu divrei Torah, their life, which is divrei Torah, gankin nemar v'emaru, it was bitter, shelo yuchalim larkish tam. They couldn't feel the tam uruki tov Hashem in their Torah when they're not functioning properly. So I skipped the line before. It was bitter, and they couldn't feel that tam. Therefore, Hashem sent them a wood. Shel Moshe Eitzah, Moshe and Eitzah, Echlim Tok, how to make it sweet. Oz, Vayim Tukah Mayim. Shizchilu Largish Tam Umasikus B'dei Torah. That they felt the light and they felt the sweetness and the light in Torah. And the Tzaddik goes on to say that by Am Yisrael, even the Mishpatim, which by the Umos Olam are dinim, by us they're chasodim. But only if you feel the tam in them. You feel, and he says that this is about feeling mesikus, sweetness in avodas Hashem. And this is people who are on the level of not feeling that tam, even though they're Mori Masnisa, they know a lot of Mishnayos. They're frustrated because they can't get the deep taste of tam ruki tov Hashem. They know a lot, but they're frustrated by the lack of mesikus. So, in taivim b'tiyuvta, if they do tshuva, Eid Mavon says, Hashem eitz v'da eitz chaim. And it's a feeling of chius uveim v'yim tukomayim v'da Moshe, and there's Moshe and Moshiach. Moshe, obviously, in his aspect as Moshiach Hashem. L'itmar bei, concerning it says, Matel Lokim biyado. He had the staff of HaKadosh Baruch Hu in his hand, and mateh, mem tes hey, it says here, da matat. That's the malch matat, misitre chaim, from above. Misitre miso, and from the side of death, from below, because apich lemata, when it turns around, iu azar misitra toiv. Then it helps from the good side. The chiva, when it comes, a snake, you connect. But that we're going to leave right for tomorrow. But the point I want to make here is like this: that what Zohar Kodesh says is that very similar to what B'Sol Salanter says and the Maral say about Shavuos. That the reason why Shavuos is not mentioned in Torah is Matan Torah Seinu, so it's Chag HaBikurim, is because Torah, when you start learning it, is very difficult. It's very, very hard, and it could cause a lot of misery. And therefore, Rabbi Saul and the Maral both say that Torah didn't want to tell us that Shavuos Matan Torah Seinu because we want you to be happy. So we just say it's Chag HaBikurim, a nice fluffy holiday. So therefore, the person shouldn't feel, oh, Torah is so hard, so difficult, I can't be happy. Rabbi Soba Santa goes so far as to say that Parshas Re'eh, it links the word choik. I forget the exact lashon of the pasuk right now. That's to the Simcha of Shavuos. So the idea is that the Simcha of Shavuos can be seen as a chok, because why be happy if you have to accept the Torah, and Torah is a big burden. So the idea, obviously, is that when one starts learning Torah from the outside, and when it gets initially into it, one doesn't feel that geschmack, and doesn't feel that's Tamur Kitov Hashem. It requires a tremendous amount of engagement and upliftment, and a sense of mission and purpose and accomplishment, in order to feel that sense of Tamur Kitov Hashem. And that's the Eitzos comes from Moshe Rabbeinu. It says Moshe Rabbeinu, I forget what the Chazal is, that the Torah was given to Moshe Rabbeinu, and he did. It was not he by Ayin Tov he gave it to Am Yisrael. The Chazal say, well, the Ayin Tov he gave to Am Yisrael was Bilpula D'Oraisa. What do you mean? The Torah tells you have to give to Am Yisrael, but he gave it to Bilpulim, and the Bilpulim is the intellectual exercise which makes it exciting to learn Torah. But that's something which requires a connection, not just of the intellectual, which of course is part of the excitement, but also of the spiritual, which is why this is associated with Moshe and his Mata, right? The Mata Elokim, that which is like the Vav HaChibur, that which connects us to on high. So in order to feel that sense of fulfillment in Torah, one has to have that Mata function properly. As we'll see tomorrow, sometimes it functions properly, sometimes it functions improperly. But again, the idea is that all the things of this world, the four Yesodos, they can be drag a person down, and even Torah could drag a person down, and it can uplift a person as well. And the four Yesodos can then be uplifted with them. The question is how a person relates to the things he has to do with the spirit of Tfeikus Hashem and Tamur Kitov Hashem, which only comes after a person puts a lot of Yegiah, La'avdo L'Shamra, a lot of toil into his Avodas Hashem. And that Yagato Matzasa Tamin. If you put in the toil, and then you can find Simcha, then you can believe it. Yagata V'lo Matzasa Al Tamin. If you put in the Yegiah and you didn't find the Simcha, don't believe it. Something's wrong. You weren't Yegiah the right way. You're Yegiah in a way which is frustrating, not a way which is illuminating. Yagata Matzasa Al Tamin. You can't say that I didn't toil and I still found Simcha. The Simcha is just, you're tricking yourself. You want to find the true Simcha, you gato matzasa. You have to toil in a way which brings you to connect to HaKadosh Baruch Hu, both intellectually and spiritually. Okay, that's not easy, but people who spend time learning Torah and have got immersed in it and involved in it and learned Torah Lishma, I think they've all had times, not all the time, but everybody has had a time when they felt, wow, this is Ashreinu Matov Chakenu Maya for Hashem Matov Chakenu Manoin Goralenu Maya for Yerushaseinu, and that is the Eitzah, right? With which we can fix the merirus of this life. Okay, there's a lot more to say about it, but that's it for tonight.